What else do we have in the library? There is a reference section, reserve section. Also, there is a section, another section in the library, they call it periodical section. It's on page 24 in the book. A periodical section is a magazine or a newspaper, something printed regularly or periodically, such as daily, weekly, or quarterly, news week. For example, it's a periodical. So in the periodical section, there is some magazines or newspaper for a period, specific period. They printed periodically. In that section, in the periodical section, there are three important parts to the periodical section. In the same section, it has three important parts in the same section, the periodical I'm talking about. Number one, list of periodicals. So if you go to if you visit the periodical section in the library, you are going to find list of periodicals. This is number one, part one, in the same section. Usually a library has a list of all periodicals available there. Which kind of periodicals, what are their titles? There is a list of them in that section. Each researcher, each one can read them and see them, and then he will be able to find out whatever he likes. Second, current issues. This is a part in the periodical section. We have the current issues. The current issues, usually all those for the current year, often are displayed in one part of the periodical section. In that section, in that part, you will find the current periodical sources, like magazines or newspapers for the current year, for example, not from the past year. These are what you find in the current issues. Number three, there are, as I said, three parts in the same section, in the periodical section. Three, back issues. When issues are no longer current, for example, they are printed in the last year, they are printed more than 1 year, they put it in this section, what they call back issues. So when you are intending to visit the library, the first step, you want to use the library when you write your research paper, is to compile a working bibliography, which is a list of separate cards of books. In the library, there are what they call books cards. There are types of cards in the library. These cards identifying the sources in that library. One of those is the card catalog. This is so important. The card catalog. What do we mean by the card catalog? The card catalog is a large file of 3 times 5 cards. The size of that card is 3 times 5 cards in alphabetical order. They are listing all the books in the library. In the catalog card, you find that they are listing all the books in that library. Each book appears on at least 3 cards. So they have 3 types of cards. The card catalog. They designed in 3 types. They all, we call them card catalog, but they are printed or formulated in 3 shapes. Let's say that. Sometimes they make it they call it an author card. It's the card catalog. Sometimes they call it an author card, filled alphabetically by the author's last name. These card catalogs sometimes printed or formulated depending on the author last name. And of course, when you want to find out some reliable sources, sometimes you have in your mind some specific authors. You know them, you know that they are writing in the same topic which you want to write about, so they make it easy for you to find their resources because you already knew the author which you want to read from his books. So some of them, they are written or formulating in by the author card, by the author last name, and some of them by the subject of the book. They call it subject card, filled alphabetically by the subject of the book. They fill it by the alphabetically by the subject of the book. So this one is different from the previous one. The previous one filled based on the last name of the author, but this one by the subject of the book. And both of them, we call them the card catalog. And the third one, a title card, filled alphabetically by the title. The title of the book itself. So all of these 3 types of the card catalog, you might find them in the library to help you to find out the required sources.